The Kosciuszko Foundation has been a time-honored organization that promotes closer ties between Poland and the United States through educational, scientific, and cultural exchanges, and promotes Polish culture in America. We are honored to join our family of KF chapters around the United States and in Europe, under the umbrella of our parent organization, the Kosciuszko Foundation. Michigan has one of the largest concentrations of Polish Americans in the United States. Since the 1850s, Polish emigres settled throughout Michigan, looking for a better life, yet holding firm to their Polish heritage. There are literally hundreds of thousands of Michiganders who have Polish ancestry, most of whom who don't speak Polish, but as second, third, fourth, and fifth generation Poles are very proud to be Polish and would like the opportunity to learn more about their rich Polish heritage. This is the reason why a few of us, whom Annette will soon introduce, thought it would be a good idea to establish an organization to address this need. And there was no better organization to partner with than the Kosciuszko Foundation. We are delighted that Mr. Marek Skulimowski and the board of directors of the Kosciuszko Foundation shared our vision and agreed to let us establish the Michigan chapter. Dziękujemy. Pracujmy wszyscy razem, aby wydobyć skarby ukryte w Polonii, potencjał naszych dzieci, mądrość naszych starszych i siłę jedności. Razem możemy odkryć skarby, które będą kształtować Polonię przez przyszłe pokolenia. Szanujmy przeszłość i inspirujmy przyszłość. Let's honor the past and inspire the future. Dziękuję.
We are very proud that we were able to attract such a diverse group of talented individuals from southeastern Michigan. However, we're also hoping to expand to Grand Rapids, so hopefully we're going to keep growing. Board members, as I call your name, I ask that you join me up here. My co-president, Barbara Wiśniewski, Vice President, Dr. John Regis, Secretary, Teresa Walawender, Treasurer, Mieczysław Oniszkiewicz, Directors, Alicja Karlitz, Alina Klin, Joanna Olejniczak, Dr. Agnes Wrubel, Amy Olszewski, Dr. Michał Olszewski, Jack Pokrzywa, Christopher Wiśniewski, Nicholas Wiśniewski, Izabela Ostromenska, and one board member who couldn't be here with us today is Dr. Andrzej Dolata, but I know he's here with us in spirit. And we have an ex officio director, Mr. Richard Walawender. We look forward to working with all of you and Polonia, furthering our culture and good work of the Kosciuszko Foundation. Thank you.
Kosciuszko Foundation was established in 1925, so 99 years ago. So the next year we'll be celebrating a 100th anniversary. And of course, we'll keep you posted about the next year because we are working on very extensive program here in the United States, in Poland, because our mission is to build bridges between Poland and the United States. So we are on the both sides of the Atlantic. The Kosciuszko Foundation, about 30, 40 years ago, created the idea of chapters. Chapters are simply a group of volunteers. That's why I really appreciate your help here. A group of volunteers who run the Kosciuszko Foundation locally, because it's impossible to organize anything in Chicago, here in Michigan or Florida from New York. Our educational programs, as I said, we started with the exchange to the United States, kind of resumed after the war in the early 70s. So the exchange to the United States is a program addressed to Polish scholars, so those who are at least at the PhD track. And over right now 50 years, I think we invited more than 1,500 scholars. Among those are people like Balcerowicz, for example. There's a long list of scholars. And this year, I just came back from Poland from the interviews, so this year we are inviting 38 for $600,000 right now. So we spend at least $600,000 a year only for this program. It is $4,000 a month, at least 3 months to stay in the United States. Another program is to exchange to Poland. We invite American scholars to go to Poland. Of course, the number is lower. It's between 5 and 15 every year. It's not that popular, but it's getting more popular, to my surprise. It's like this year we received a number of applications, like 17 already, and the deadline is still open. These are scholarships for students from Polish-American families in the United States. It's mostly for graduate studies. There are some funds for undergrads. It is not that I like graduate studies, only that we want to distribute to graduate studies. No, these are the restrictions on the funds, because these are the funds that we received from our donors. So any of you can establish a scholarship fund at a foundation after your parents or after your family name, whatever. And you say, and there is a restriction, for example, it is for graduate studies in physics. And that's the way I can only spend this money. So the more funds, the more money distributed. So right now for this program, we distribute between $400,000 to $500,000 every year. So it is about 130 on average people awarded from $2,000 to $10,000, more or less, within this range of, because there are state universities, so we give less. For expensive universities, we give more. That's how it works. And there is also a program that's been continued for half a century. It's summer studies. So simply we send people to Poland to learn Polish during summer for a couple of weeks. It's at the Jagiellonian University and some at the Catholic University of Lublin, but most of people wants to go to Krakow anyway, so 90% goes to Krakow. So every year it's like about 40, 50 American students. Half of them are heritage students, so students of Polish descent going to Poland. And we have scholarships to cover almost all the expenses for half of them, those who meet certain requirements. So it's been very popular program over the years. Of course, it slowed down during the pandemic and the war in Ukraine, but now we are recovering again. And the program, which is actually one of my favorites, and it's been with the foundation for over 30 years, it's teaching English in Poland. It was a French program for 2 decades. We invited American teachers or those who wanted to teach English to Poland for 2 or 3 weeks and organized camps for Polish children. We immersed them in the English language, and that's how it worked. It's simply, that was sometimes the first contact with a native speaker for these students, especially that we decided to go out of the big cities, because right now in the big cities, people can afford to send their children to London or Malta, because that's another almost English-speaking country in Europe. But in places like former Galicia, so like in Podkarpacie, Lubelskie, they don't have money. So they send their kids, either it's like a day camp or just send them for the full, so they stay for 2 weeks with the teachers, and they play, they talk about Poland, they cook together. So it's in form of play, it does sports, whatever it is. And so Americans introduce the American culture, the Polish students introduce the American children to Polish culture. So that's kind of another exchange program. And it was, in the past, we had like 3, 4 camps. Right now, last year we had 7. This year we'll be having 9. But what's special, for the past 2 years, we also opened that to Ukrainian children, because there were a lot of Ukrainian children in Poland, and some of the camps are along the border, close to the border. So we bus people from Ukraine, bus children for Ukraine for 2 weeks to stay in Poland, play with their Polish friends for, like I said, about 2 weeks. And it's absolutely wonderful. I saw it last year, the first time ever participated in this program, just to oversee. It's wonderful. It's not only that they learn the language, but they make friends. After 2 weeks, when they leave, they cry, they are close friends, and they want to come back next year. Last fiscal year, we awarded nearly $2 million in grants, scholarship, fellowships, and on culture programs. So it's $2 million. Our endowment, as of yesterday, is $53 million. So that's the highest number ever. And I mentioned teaching English in Poland. Last year, there was 66 American volunteer teachers, 7 summer language camps, and 400 Polish and 210 Ukrainian children. That was last year. This year, the number is going to grow by 20-25%. Cultural events. We organize a number of different events. Some of you receive our communication. The others may check it on social media. But since there's one person who helped us a lot with one of the events, I would like to mention that we organized one of the first exhibition of Tamara de Lempicka in New York after, I think, 50 or 60 years. And Ann Patty with her husband are here, who helped me with and share the collection here. And thank you so much. Now I think the exhibition started traveling in Poland. That's what I heard, and there is a Broadway show. Am I correct? A musical, yes. We also promoting Polish music. We organize a Chopin piano competition. We had another, I think, 47 or 48 edition, like 2 weeks ago in Washington, D.C. Sembrick Voice Competition, which is an opera competition, and Wieniawski Violin Competition. These are the major ones. Polish studies, that's my priority, to be honest, and some of you already know and noticed that. We want to promote the teaching of and lecturing Polish language at American universities, colleges. So when I joined the foundation, we supported the Polish program at Hunter College, and that was it. At this point, we support at Hunter College the Polish program, the minor, and the next year the translation courses. And at Brown University and University of North Carolina, there is a Polish studies program which is actually conducted at 2 universities, Damon University and Canisius University in Buffalo. And we are working at supporting right now the program at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. So probably it will start, not the program will start, but our support will start next academic year. We hope to have something to support here in Michigan. And we organize awards, prizes, so it's like Wilczek Award in physics with the Jagiellonian University, which was actually created by Professor Frank Wilczek, a Nobel Prize winner in physics with Polish roots in Podkarpacie. Pienkowski Award. Pienkowski was a former rector of the Warsaw University in the 20s of the previous century. Janczewski Award is a group of doctors who sponsored the award in Poland. They passed away a few years ago, so they left their estate in Poland. It doesn't happen too often in Poland, but they did leave their estate, and we established an award for the best publication in medicine, which is $15,000 every 2 years. And Lipsky Awards, it's in computer science, held every year. It's about $12,000 in 2 categories. And with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, I happened to be there in the area. So I rushed to the border, was at the border helping people who were crossing the border, and just reported that to my board. That was, I think, February 25th. So the next day we had a board meeting, an emergency board meeting. We decided to open a fundraiser, just to collect like $50,000, $100,000, just to provide some humanitarian aid, because there were people willing to help, but they bringing food. That was it. The local governments or administration weren't prepared, weren't ready, were waiting for certain regulation, what to do in that situation, but people were ready to help. So we needed money. So let's start a fundraiser. So after a year, we had $1.5 million, right now about $2 million. We raised about $2 million helping Ukraine. Most of the money at the beginning was spent on humanitarian aid. Right now we are supporting different educational programs, which is more in line with our mission simply. So it's like this, teaching English in Poland. So we pay for the Ukrainian children. We organize, and again organizing this year, camp for orphans in Poland. So we'll invite orphans for 2 or 3 weeks with kind of a therapeutic camp with a group of specialists to work with these children. And a number of other things. It's like whenever we hear that something is needed or a school was bombed and they need to like buy a few computers, or so we just buy it and deliver. And a highlight of our assistance to Ukraine at war is our collaboration with the Smithsonian Institution to protect the cultural heritage in Ukraine. So simply we received a grant from the Smithsonian Institution to buy equipment to store and protect art. And in the end, what I can ask is to become a member.
My graduation in veterinary medicine and my dream to become an academic teacher and scientist in the area I chose, veterinary medicine, coincided with the times when the Iron Curtain was lifted, and at the same time Poland hit the rock bottom economically. There was no money for research. Poland has a lot of problems with the galloping inflations. So sometimes you came in the line and waited to get your monthly allowance, very small then, probably in today's money that would be about $10 per month. And then you would learn, well, they ran out, they didn't get enough money, so please come again another week. So asking my colleagues and friends who were more experienced than me how I could enter a PhD program, what is the chance for me to get educated in my profession, I was told, go abroad. There will be no money for veterinary medicine research. There will be no money for doctoral studies for a very long time, not in the near future. So I started looking, and I was extremely fortunate to find a laboratory that studied the same area I made my first steps in Poland, which was the respiratory medicine in horses. And I was told they are extremely interested in me coming to their lab, but I need support for the first year because it is much easier to enter graduate program when you already have foot in the door and everybody knows you and you identified the lab and you show your productivity. That is what is going to make all the difference. So I looked where I could apply, And of all the possible places, the one that I could turn to was the Kosciuszko Foundation. It was year 1991. I applied and learned that my application has been positively considered and that I can come and do my visiting scholarship program here in the US. And this is what happened. I had a very productive year in the laboratory that then became my future PhD laboratory. But before that, because it was an exchange program, I came back to Poland. I published article that resulted from my work and knowledge I gained here, and then I was released to come and enter the graduate program here in the US. After that, I had a lot of thoughts about going back to Poland, but again, I was advised, we are not ready yet for you. Just do the postdoc in America if you can, so that you can continue to develop. And this is where what directed me to the University of Michigan, which is wonderful university and the first medical school in Michigan and one of the most famous medical schools in the US and in the world. And here I found a lot of support, and there was always work for me. So I'm still postponing my return to Poland, but in the meantime, I am very busy generating science, always remembering that Kosciuszko Foundation was the organization that gave me a chance and that helped me to make the first step in the United States. So I don't want to take too much time, but also want to acknowledge some members of the University of Michigan community who are today with us, the members of Copernicus program, and our wonderful Polish instructor, Dr. Ewa Pasek, who is today with us, Małgosia Kowalczyk, who is helping to run the Copernicus program that helps to promote Polish culture on campus of the University of Michigan. I think for us, the supporters of Polish culture, science and education, the arrival of Kosciuszko Foundation to Michigan is a wonderful opportunity, and I feel extremely privileged and happy that we're going to have our own Kosciuszko Foundation chapter in Michigan. Thank you.
University of Michigan has, I think, the largest Polish studies program in the United States. And that's what took me there. That's why I went there, undergraduate and also graduate school in Polish studies, political science, and history. But when 1980 hit, when Solidarność started in August of 1980, it literally was an epiphany for me. I said, I have to be there. I have to go this is a chance of a lifetime to see what's going on. And so I did in 81. And again, thanks to the Kosciuszko Foundation, was able to enroll in the program at Jagiellonian University. And that, frankly, changed the course of my life. While I was there, while ostensibly going to school there, I participated, you could say I joined the Solidarity Union, especially the student movement there. I met a lot of friends, participated in marches, in strikes, even in some factory sit-ins, and was able to come out of that alive. But I also am indebted to my aunt's husband, who introduced me to some people at the Solidarity's headquarters in Gdańsk. And I was able to meet a lot of people there and to begin some collaboration. I came back and finished my studies, and by the way, decided not to go to graduate school, but then went on to law school because martial law started. And everything clamped down, and I said, well, you know, that's sort of the end of history. Lo and behold, 1989 came about, and the elections were held, a new government was put in, led by Solidarity, And me, along with a few other lawyers, including Roman Rewald here, who was also was a lawyer at the time in Detroit, we went to Poland and we began working on private projects, on projects with the governments, and I happened to have the honor and ability to work as my first client in Poland was with Solidarity, setting up some ventures for them, economic ventures, and then, as they say, it goes on from there. So now I have 3 offices in Poland, had them opened up since 1990, still go there regularly, and as I said, I owe it all to the Kosciuszko Foundation, because that time in Poland, and I couldn't have gone without the scholarship provided by them, that time in Poland really changed my life. And it even became so that, as Annette mentioned, 5 years ago, the Polish government asked me to serve as their Honorary Consul here. So again, I am so glad that we're able to carry on this tradition and hopefully inspire some of our young generation, especially student age, to take an interest in Poland and Polish studies, and certainly learn about the culture. So thank you very much.
Naprawdę cieszę się, że miałem okazję uczestniczyć w tym wspaniałym wydarzeniu, które inauguruje nowy chapter. Drugi chapter w tym miesiącu, chyba drugi chapter w ostatnich 30 latach, czyli ten miesiąc był naprawdę owocny. Otworzyliśmy też chapter na Florydzie tydzień temu. Jakie oczekiwania mamy wobec chapterów? Generalnie my oczekujemy, że jest osoby, które działają w chapterze, to są osoby, które są pełne entuzjazmu, chciałyby coś zrobić dobrego, więc oczekujemy, że będą realizować swoje pomysły. Pomysły, jak promować polską kulturę, jak dyskutować o Polsce, o polskiej historii, zachęcać do wyjazdów, korzystać z naszych stypendiów. Oczywiście mamy stypendia, niektórzy nie wiedzą, właśnie zgłoście się do chapteru, dowiecie się wszystko, więc tu w tej chwili już nie będzie tak sytuacji, że jesteśmy w Nowym Jorku. Jest chapter Michigan, tu jest zarząd, wspaniali ludzie, którzy będą to prowadzić i my jesteśmy tu po to, żeby wzmocnić Polonię, żeby współpracować z innymi organizacjami. I do tego będziemy dążyć. Jest nas coraz mniej, coraz bardziej się rozjeżdżamy, coraz mniej naszych dzieci mówi po polsku w pierwszym języku. Będziemy im pomagać, aby byli w kontakcie z Polską, aby mogli skorzystać z różnych ciekawych możliwości, może i nauczyć się języka polskiego i będziemy mieli chapter, który będzie to realizował. Taką mam nadzieję.